Oh yeah, what's up family? This is Sensei from Ride Fit Nation. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about something very interesting. It's been on my heart for a while. And you know, before I get into it, we're going to dive a little bit into a few things to get those things out of the way. First, I want to big up Tab. I want to big up Hogworks. I want to big up Zero, and I want to big up Custom Dynamics for always supporting and sending me stuff for my bike build, which is behind me. The bike is down. It's been down for the past month and a half since Milwaukee. I have not ridden my motorcycle. I made up my mind to take the bike apart, get stuff done, get it painted. I want to big up Cycle Smiths for sending me the floorboards. I want to big up Tabs for sending me the pipes. Hogworks for sending me a whole bunch of parts. You know, Dynamics, Custom Dynamics, they sent me some lights. Zero sent me the phone holder and the cup holder. And the list goes on. Pigspit, if you never use Pigspit, big up to Pigspit. Now, I just want to get these formalities out the way. A lot of you think that when companies are sending YouTubers stuff, we're getting paid for it. We're not getting paid for it. As a matter of fact, they're not doing us a favor. These companies are sending us stuff with the hopes that we're going to promote like I'm doing now to get their name out. So it's a 50-50 thing, right? So this is why we promote these things. Don't think that we're trying to sell you stuff that doesn't even apply. We're riding bikes. And I'm going to promote the things that I believe in. I believe in all these companies you see. And then this video is not sponsored by these people. This video is sponsored by my wife. Her company is Degrees of Beauty, The Degrees of Beauty. You can follow her on Instagram. And she made me this bag. I don't know if you follow me online and got to see this bag that she made for me. But I'm going to tell you right now, I paid her to get this bag done. It's pure leather. Everything that you see is created by her by hand. She created my patch for my club. She wrote the Iron Bread on there. She gave me my Jamaican flag. She wrote my name on there. She's right now she's downstairs making a bag for another friend of mine in the Bronx because he saw this bag and he wanted one. This also has the quick release latch. You open it. It's a nice velvety, what is that, velvet? Beautiful interior. Got my key, my phone. I have my pen holder. I have another pen holder right here. I have a keychain. I could put my keys here. I could also attach my key right here. I have another slot pocket in the back. And there are lots of details. And the detail of my color scheme is on point. She even got to put me the strap on the leather strap with the color. So if you want this bag fully customized, it starts at $250. It should be way more money than that. But she's like, you know what? You Ride Fit Nation people, I'll be able to do the work. It's pure leather. It's all handmade. You can email her at, well, you know what? I don't think she'll want to use that email. You can email me at ridefitnation@gmail.com so she can get this stuff going. It starts at $250, but it goes up depending on how much things you want customized in the bag, and she will make it your color scheme. So I want to put the bag right here in the front, so you can look at the bag, see the details, see the stitching, see everything that she did. I'm gonna promote the heck out of this bag. Why? Because I want my wife to be successful. And I know that some of you guys out there and girls want to get your bag made ASAP. Don't wait because the price is gonna go up. That should be at least $500 minimum, all right? Now that we got that out the way, let's dive into this motorcycle stuff, the dangers of riding motorcycles. Now I'm gonna give you some stats and I want you to think about it, right? Because I've been thinking a lot about how the industry treats motorcycle riders. The government doesn't have any laws in place to protect riders. If somebody hits a rider, whether it's their fault or the motorist's fault, the person that hit the rider will get away unless they were drunk, unless there's a camera that shows that they did it maliciously. But most of the times they'll get away. There's no laws in place to protect motorcycle riders. And my goal is, as time goes, I would love to connect with Tiger Law, Law Bikers, all these different companies out there who is really fighting for the motorcycle rider. Right in front of me on my board, I have 7 things that I read up online. I haven't researched it, but I'm gonna give you the numbers. You can research it and really look into it. But I'm gonna read them and I'm gonna give my thoughts. And I've seen myself riding and a car cut in front of me and I had to literally control my stopping power. If you're riding at 80 miles an hour, you need to learn how to stop at 80 miles an hour, okay? That's just point blank. We'll get into that later. Now, this format right here, you're gonna see this format a lot. because, you know, I want to educate. I don't need to be an entertainer like everybody else on this YouTube thing. I'm bringing you real facts, right? And I've noticed that not only myself, but a lot of YouTubers, the algorithms has completely cut us off. Like I posted a video the other day of my son and I installing some primary covers from Cyclesmith. 13 comments out of 5,000 plus people. There's something going on there, right? But I'm not going to argue about that. Once again, I'm going to be bringing a lot of raw talk to y'all right here in this environment, okay? So if you're a motorcycle rider, I want you to share some of the incidents that you have seen, people that you have known, or some of the close calls that you have experienced, or maybe not even a close call that you actually experienced something, and whose fault was it? All right, so before I dive any further into the list that I'm going to talk to you about, I want you to watch this clip. This is based on motorcycle safety, the dangers of riding motorcycles, and some of the things that we deal with day in and day out. Check it out.
Mangled mess of metal here. The parts and pieces of motorcycles. Each of these bikes had somebody riding them, and each died as a result of accidents that occurred in Sarasota and Manatee counties. Just there, traffic remains heavy in the area, and troopers are begging drivers to pay more attention. As Fox 13's Kimberly Quizon reports for us tonight, they continue to see multiple accidents involving motorcycles every week.
Everyone has somewhere to go, and these motorcycles each represent a life that didn't make it.
Most of these crashes can be eliminated simply by paying attention.
The Florida Highway Patrol has noticed a disturbing increase in Sarasota and Manatee counties.
Over the past 21 days, we have seen 10 fatalities in reference to motorcyclists. This is something that is simply unacceptable.
And troopers say in nearly every case they've seen in recent days, the motorcyclists were not at fault.
Most of the crashes that occur with motorcyclists, it is simply caused by a violation of right-of-way. In other words, the driver of the vehicle did not see the motorcyclist and they pulled out in front of them.
Hap Cycle Sales in Sarasota has been around for 75 years. General Manager Stephen Bixler stresses the importance of safety gear, including helmets and this, an airbag vest, which when worn over or under a jacket acts like an airbag. He also stresses education.
Of course, to take the class, which is mandated by law, which is a great class to educate you on how to drive defensively, and to also teach a lot of our customers to try and pretend as though you are invisible. Because if you have the mindset that, hey, people don't see me, then you're more apt to be able to drive in a way that might help you avoid accidents. 4
generations of Bixler's family were raised on motorcycles. He knows each person takes a risk when riding, but asks others to be aware.
Please be vigilant in understanding that just because you look and you may not see somebody, you know, motorcycles are smaller than a car.
Kimberly Quizon, Fox 13 News.
And troopers say a majority of these accidents are occurring during the busiest times of the day, morning and evening commutes when everybody's in a hurry.
You know, when you look at the media and how the media portrays motorcycle accidents, most of the times they will normally make it sound like it's the fault of the motorcyclist, not the fault of the motorist. Not all the time, but most of the times. So now I'm going to tell you, I am angered by that. I'm bothered by that because there isn't enough rules or laws that regulates safety for motorcycle riders. The law seems to protect the criminals who have been involved in criminal activities, such as hitting a motorcyclist off his bike, running a red light, and they would say, well, they ran a red light. It wasn't, it wasn't manslaughter because they didn't do it purposely. It was done under error. Well, my thing is, you took somebody's life. And you take somebody's life. If I take my gun out and pull the trigger by mistake and shoot somebody, understand, I'm going to go to jail. You understand? I'm going to go to jail. Oh, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. No, it wasn't a mistake. You should have paid attention and not ran a damn light. You should have looked up and not run behind somebody and kill them because you were busy on your phone or you were busy drinking or looking down. It pisses me off. There needs to be more rules. There needs to be more laws. Legislation needs to start to act further to start to protect riders. I mean, for God's sakes, the motorcycle world is even in the police department. And trust me, police officers get hit on their bikes too. The media don't talk about it enough, but they get hit on their bikes also. it's kind of like motorcycles don't matter because they're a bunch of thugs anyway. They don't do much of anything. They just start trouble on the road and make a lot of noise, smoke their cigars. You know, they're thugs. Who cares? The motorcycle industry, it's a large part of the economy because we're buying expensive motorcycles. I don't care what kind of bike you're buying. We're buying motorcycle parts. You know what I'm saying? Motorcycle parts, by the way. And we're spending money in these bags. So get your bag. Get your bag. I'm serious. Get your bag. But there has to be something done to protect us. I'm going to create these little videos, right? I don't even know what I'm calling them, podcasts, whatever. I'm going to be talking a lot about things that involves the motorcycle world. Right now, I got my bike behind me. My bike, I haven't ridden my motorcycle in about a month and a half because I'm getting a whole lot of stuff done to my bike. Tons of stuff. I got my motor work done. I want more power for my bike. I'm getting the bike painted a completely different color scheme. Okay? It's either people are going to like it or they're going to hate it. There's going to be no in between. My point is, I love my bike and I enjoy riding my bike. But when I look at people like Just GQ, who just posted a picture the other day of someone who came into his lane and damn near hit him off his bike, ripping on two wheels. Him and his brother is riding, enjoying their rides. A car cuts over to get over to another lane, moving at 80 miles an hour. The damn car cut him off and his brother crashed. His brother didn't die, thank God, but he did rupture his spleen. He did get some injuries, right? And I'm curious as to what happened with that driver. Did that driver go to jail? Did that driver get a fine? Did that driver get a ticket and get sent home? Whatever. What happened? Okay? When I'm riding a couple of months ago, and I'm moving at 80 plus miles an hour. A car cuts in front of me, making a left turn, which I'm going to mention that later. And thank God I knew how to control my bike. Here's the thing. If you're not studying how to stop at fast speeds, then you don't need to ride your motorcycle at fast speeds. If you're not practicing how to stop at fast speeds, then don't ride your motorcycle. Learn how to use your front brake and your rear brake. Learn when to press it, when to not press it. How to pull that brake, how much pressure to use. Practice stopping at 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour. Every time you go 10 miles up, you practice how to stop during that, because I was able to slow my bike down enough to where I didn't have to panic and I knew I had control of the situation. Okay? During that moment. But anything could have happened. There is nothing protecting us as riders. I promise you. But we're going to make it different because I'm going to start to make some noise. And when I start making some noise, you're going to make noise. And we're going to start to get things going so we can start to work with some of these law companies like Law Bikers and Tiger Law, I believe it's called. I'm messing up the names. I'm pretty sure I am. But we need to start to connect with these people. Now, I got 7 things on this list. 7 things to be aware of. Some stats for the dangers of riding your motorcycle. We're in 2023, which is almost done, okay? In 2020, we had over 5,000 people that got killed on bikes. 5,579 that's already put on the list of motorcyclists who got murdered on their motorcycles. I'm going to use the word murdered because we need to start to think about it that way. Murdered. Somebody could run us over purposely and say they didn't see us and they get away. Okay? Unless they had alcohol in their system. Number 2, 14% of the fatalities that happens on the road is a motorcycle. 14% might not sound like a lot. If I give you $1 and I take 14%, that's $14. Okay? If I give you $1,000 and I take 14%, that's $140. If I give you 100,000, that's what? 14,000. 14% of the fatalities happen on motorcycles. I don't know about you, but I know some of those percentage. I know some of the people who have been a part of the 14%, unfortunately, right? And I'm hoping that I don't become one of those percentage one of these days. This is the reason why I'm bringing some awareness to all of us out here in the world of motorists and the world of motorcyclists, okay? The next one, 2,143 deaths happened on a motorcycle with no helmet. That pisses me off. Now, I know that to each his own. Everybody have their own thing. Okay, I ride a motorcycle. To some people, that's dumb. Well, to me, not riding the helmet isn't smart. I'm not going to say it's dumb, but it's not smart. But that's my own personal preference. I know that South Carolina, Connecticut, Florida, every time I go to these places, I see guys moving at high speeds on their motorcycle on the highway with nothing protecting their melon. Any little thing. I mean, when I'm riding my motorcycle and I have a full helmet on, I'm getting smacked in my head with stones and rocks and all these different things. Bang, ping, ping, ping. So I'm trying to wonder, how come you guys don't get smacked in your forehead? And aren't you afraid that something's going to fly at a certain speed and hit you like a bullet? And hit you like a bullet? Not a bullet, but I mean a rock pellet comes flying and smacking you and knocking you off your bike? You're not afraid that if somebody come and hit you behind and you fall off that bike and you just smash your head open? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's crazy. 2,143 deaths based on helmets, not having a helmet on. Leave it in the comments. Let me know, do you wear helmets when you're riding? If you don't, why? Why? I mean, I'm not going to go out to war without my bulletproof vest. I'm damn sure not going to go to war without my guns and my knife and my machete and my axe and whatever I know is going to help me to chop some people down. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go in my car and drive without putting my seatbelt on. So why the heck would I want to ride my motorcycle without my helmet when it's a part of my uniform? And another thing, too, that I realize is, and I'm going to ruffle some feathers, which I'm known to do, but I get it. Why do some of you ride your motorcycles with German helmets? How cool are you trying to look? What is a German helmet doing to protect you if something happens on your bike? Even if you're moving at, listen, a car totals at 35 miles an hour if it hits into something head on. So if that happens at 35 miles an hour, imagine what a motorcycle will happen, what could happen to a bike at 35 miles an hour. It might not feel fast on 35 miles an hour on a bike, but trust me, it's fast. So just help me to understand, why do you guys and girls wear these German helmets that does not protect you? I'm curious, okay? I have friends who do it. I have club brothers who do it. I don't know why. So leave it in the comments. Get involved in the conversation, because we're creating some safety stuff here. I want to just know. That's all. So I'm not knocking you. I just want to know. The next one, number 4 on that board, 34% of accidents involve speeding. Now, that can be a little tricky, because to the average eye, the people who don't ride motorcycles, they're always going to think that we're speeding, no matter what speed we're going, because the bike is going to sound faster than it's really going, especially race bikes, right? It's like people who see sports cars. They think that the sports car is going fast. Cops will give you a ticket just because you look like you was going fast. And you think about the number of speeding. I am going to talk to the guys out there who's speeding for no reason. I like the speed. I get a rush from it. I get a thrill. It's like I'm in a jet plane just cutting through the skies, right? But I'm not going to speed in environments where I'm not sure about, like local roads where things are coming from all different angles. I'm not going to speed in roads where it's a lot of turns, because at any moment, a big turn could be coming up and I'm gone. So speeding is what we need to stop doing for unnecessary times, unnecessary reasons, and slow down on your bike. When I go on Instagram, I see all these people doing so much nonsense. They're riding their motorcycles and doing stupid stuff, endangering not only themselves, but they're endangering their family, other families. They're endangering the people they're riding with. Yo, if I'm riding in a group with you and we're all together and you bust a wheelie while we're riding together, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem. When you start doing burnouts and cutting side to side while we're riding together, we're going to have a problem. Why? Because if you crash, the next man crashes, the next man crashes, the next man crashes. We're going to have a problem. I'm looking in the camera. I'm telling y'all how much I don't like that. When people do that, do it on the tracks. Do it so if you crash, you crash. You're not crashing and killing anybody else. You're taking your own self out. Okay? So all the unnecessary speeding and stupid crap just for the gram, we need to stop that. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I like to speed at times. If I'm on a highway and I'm going on a long distance ride, when I took my ride to New York, I was speeding. I just rode past cops. I was moving. Boom. Cops ain't bothering me nothing. I was already gone. The cop was like, yeah, that's a nice bike, man. I'm not even going to bother him. I'm just going to go. 70 miles an hour speed limit, I'm going at 80, 85. I'm not going too far above that. I'm already 10 to 15 miles above that. The cop could stop me and pull me over, give me a ticket, take my bike. But sometimes I want to roll in that throttle and I want to gun it. But you got to be mindful of what you're doing when you're doing it, okay? Next one is 20% of these accidents involves alcohol. It's the riders drinking alcohol. Brothers in my club, people in my family, people who I've known for years, people in the bike set, people when I go out is drinking all this alcohol while you're on a motorcycle. Tell me how smart that is as grown men. Think about this. If you have your kids and your kids is drinking and driving and drinking and riding, what are you going to tell them? Great job, son. Awesome job, my daughter. Keep on doing it? No, you're going to try to talk them out of it. So why do you guys drink alcohol when you know you are on twos? If people find it hard enough to drive when they're drunk, what do you think is going to happen when your vision and your response time is impaired and you're on twos? You don't have no room for error. In a car, you got room for error. A car, when I went to New York, I seen a car. Me and my brother George, we're driving up on the Sprain Parkway. And this Porsche, a Cayenne, in the rain, loses control, and the car just cuts off into a ditch, flies over the ditch, lands next to a tree. The tree cuts into the glass. 2 kids, young kids come out. They're alive. They're fine. If that happened on a motorcycle, your chance of coming out of that is not fine. You see what I'm saying? You have a small window for error. So why are you drinking? Leave it in the comments. Let me know. Are you one of those people who is drinking alcohol? Now, I'm not saying you can't have a beer. I understand. You can have a beer. You think you can hold your liquor. But understand that your liquor is like Batman. I am vengeance. I'm Batman. Batman sneaks up on you in the night. Your alcohol sneaks up on you like Batman. So when you're drinking, having a fun, la, 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 you could feel perfectly fine. You can get on your bike feeling perfectly fine. But the effects of the alcohol is working its way through your blood system. That's what it's doing. It's working its way through your blood. And you're risking your life. Stop drinking and riding. It's stupid. It's dumb. I'm going to use that right now aggressively. Stop doing that crap. Number 6. Alcohol-impaired crashes increases at night. And we're not talking about the riders now. We're talking about nighttime riding equals more accidents. Because people, especially during the weekends, Friday and Saturdays, everybody's out partying, celebrating the fact they ain't got to work. And the work week is done. So they celebrate by drinking. And then guess what they do? They drink and they drive. So when you are on your motorcycle, whether you're drinking alcohol or not, chances are the person on your left, the person on your right, the person behind you is drinking, was drinking, is drunk, intoxicated, whatever. And the chance of accidents increases during the night. Now, I like riding in the nighttime. When I'm riding in a relaxed area, the lights are out, it's a different feeling, but I don't love riding in the nighttime. As a matter of fact, I started riding my motorcycle more at night because pretty much everything that my club does is during the night. Bike night, anniversary parties, going out to this event, that restaurant, da-da-da. Most of it is in the nighttime. I personally don't like it, and I'm about to cut that down. Why? Because I live in the country. When I'm riding out here in the nighttime, you got deers all over the place. We got armadillos, we got snakes, we got turtles, we got skunks. We have all these different animals that's in the road, and at any time they can get you by mistake, and you are not paying attention, and you see coming up on you, then you try to move out the way, and all of a sudden, you're looking at the ceiling, looking at the skies, and you see God coming down talking to you. So if you could avoid night riding as much as you can, avoid it, okay? I've been avoiding it for a while. I mean, my bike, I ain't got no choice. But I'm not saying I'm not going to ride at night. I'm just saying I'm being more mindful. Because when I go to Atlanta, here's another thing I see a lot too. It's all these young dudes with these freaking Chargers, Hellcats. What's the other one? I forgot the name of them. But They're racing each other for no reason on the road, in the highway, cutting off everybody. They don't care if you're in a bike, if you're in a car. They don't care. But they're riding reckless, and that's happening in pretty much every state. California, Georgia, freaking Virginia, D.C., New York. They're all over the place doing this. So at the end of the day, I don't want to be out there in the nighttime if I don't have to. The last one, it says 76% of accidents happens from the front. And that's a big thing, man. I have videos where I'm talking to the audience of beginner riders, right? And I'm telling this fly is annoying me so bad. I want to jack that fly up. I want to jack him up. He's landing on my face. He landed in my eardrums, landing on my hair. Look at him. Just annoying. That one fly. But let me get back to business. When you're riding your motorcycle, for some reason, it's not the people behind you that cause the accidents. It's the ones in front. It's the ones who is making the left turns. Most of these accidents happens while somebody is making a left turn, whether they're coming from the right of you to make the left turn or if they're coming from in front of you to make the left turn. They don't see you. So in your brain, I don't care if you got the baddest bike in the planet. I don't care if you're in the biggest and baddest motorcycle club in the world and you think that you hot-ish. You're a regular dude on your motorcycle. They don't know who you are. They don't see you. So in your mind, you have to always imagine that you are invisible at all costs. When a car is making that turn, you slow down. You put your beams on, your high beams. You do something. You wave your hands. You do something. Let them know you're there. And if you're not certain, then you slow the hell down and let them go ahead. I ain't got no time to be killing myself or letting somebody kill me on no left-hand turn. I'm slowing down. Like I gave you the scenario of when I had to stop my bike at 80 plus miles an hour. You see, stuff like that can happen as well. So be hyper aware of your environment. Okay? Let me go through my list. I'm not keeping you out here long. Number one, 5,579 deaths happened in 2020. Number two, 14% of the accidents on the road is fatalities is motorcycle. Number three, 2,143 deaths with riders with no damn helmet. 34% of accidents involved was speeding. 27% of the accidents involved was riders with alcohol in their system. 6, alcohol-impaired accidents happens a lot during the nighttime. 7, 76% of accidents happen from the front. That's a 7 right there. Let me know if you guys like this format. Let me know if you enjoy this. And what are some of the topics that I should be discussing? Because I don't want to be like everybody else. I'm not here to ride my bike and do all that alone. This channel is a lifestyle channel. I'm bringing you guys the raw, authentic me. I want you to get to know Sensei for who Sensei is. See that? Sensei. See all of this? Sensei. See this? Sensei. Don't forget to get the bag. You're going to see me plugging this bag a lot because I need at least 100 of these bags out there in the world so my wife can love me. She can love me. Thanks, honey. But in all seriousness, when you're riding a motorcycle, be careful. Stop all the cockiness. One of the things I'm going to aim to do this year is I'm going to look for some motorcycle gear that I can ride all year round. I'm going to get me a leather jacket made to match my bike. I'm going to see if my wife can make me a leather jacket. I'm going to get the riding pants. I'm going to get the boots. All that riding with T-shirts and stuff like that, I don't want to do that anymore. Because at any given moment, you can go down. And all you're thinking about is, damn, I should have had my freaking thing on. I should have had my jacket on. I should have had my sleeves on or whatever. Listen. Don't ride to be pretty. Let the bike do the prettiness. You ride to be safe. You put on your uniform, okay? Get your gear and put your gear on. All of us need to be more in tune with ourselves and our safety, all right? So anyway, this is Sensei. Let's get these miles. Let's get that money. And let's get that muscle. Leave your comments. Let me know your thoughts in this format. Do you like it? You don't like it? And if you love it, what are some of the topics that you think I should be talking about? Because I'm going to be right here building, all right? We out. Peace.